Hey, it's time for another episode of Bag Surgery today. The Razer Rampage ACL Pro 2021-2022, powered by RZ3 Razer 3 fill. And it feels pretty good. I think it's a mix. This fabric is thick, first of all. This fabric is pretty thick. It might be the backside of a fabric. Might be. We'll find out when we get inside. This is a unique type of carpet material. It's different. I think this is the one they advertise like shark teeth. I don't know if this side was the shark teeth, but I'm just like letting it lay. It's supposed to like drag your bags, like you're dragging bags. Funny you mention that because I think, now I'm not Mr. Know-It-All, but I think these are made by the same as the dragon bags. Made by the same person. I believe. I don't know. Maybe they sold that company. You can comment below. I'm sure you guys know more than I do. Anyway, what's the closing stitch? It's a down and back. I know these are all made by hand. And it is kind of far away from that top seam, that top fold. We're going to get inside these, but let's get a closer look first. While we're taking a nice semi-close look, I want to thank Tom from So Ill Cornhole up in Illinois for sending us these bags 4 months ago, mind you. He wanted to see what was inside these, find out what makes them tick. He wanted to know about this RZ3, and so do we. It feels plush. It might be a single pellet fill. It might be like those Character 77s, a little bit smaller template. Tell me what you think of this. Neither of these fabrics, I don't know what they are, which is pretty cool. This might be the backside of something though, as I was saying. I think this is the backside of something. Well, without further ado, let's just get on in there. All right, I have not taken a look inside. This is going to be a first for you or for both of us. Let's see. Oh, who was right again? Me with the single pellet fill. Just like the Character 77s. I thought they felt kind of the same. Same exact fill, no mixing. Cool. Well, powered by RZ3. Now you know what it is. Let's get it into this bowl. Initial things, they are double stitched, and this one is definitely not sewn by hand. This is done by a computerized machine. That is awesome. Awesome. Because there's no line that would have been traced on it. You're not going to see it on the black. We'll get a closer look at it later, but for now, here's those RZ3 pellets. What's all this thread, you ask? All it is the fraying of this fabric. It's not actual thread. I thought it was at first. I was like, dang, they put all their thread trash in here. This is not a worm, it's a piece of thread. But these bags were pretty well broken in, and not broken in like chemical break-in. This is just, I feel like they're broken in by just regular old playing, because look at the sheen on these pellets. Oh yes, I want to see that close up. There we go, we're in. You can see the pellets, you can see the little sea hairs coming off these threads. Lovely stuff. Single pellet fill. If you remember from the Character 77s pellets, this exact scene minus thread, or with the thread now. Not thread. Yeah, thread. It's from the fabric. See that little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy. It's stuck to my thing. Yeah, a little let down here. I mean, powered by RZ3 fill, blah, blah, blah. They touted on the website. Hey, let me pull that up. All right, I got it here. This says, powered by our exciting new RZ3 resin. This is our top bag, our best seller in the last 3 years. Some call it a cheater bag because it goes in the hole so easy, no kick, no bounce, like exactly where you tell it to. 1,000 Wars, 1,000 Victories, War Pig by Razer Bags. I'm reading the War Pig because the Rampage was sold out and I couldn't read the description. But the way they talk about this exciting new RZ3 resin, I remember seeing in another description, there was some long drawn out thing about their RZ3 brand new exciting stuff. Well, it's just a single pellet that you can buy right now. Link in the description. How's that sound? Link in the description. Nice look at the threads here, where the stitching is. You like my new thread ripper? It is sharp as hell. All right, this is where I think this is the bottom. This is the bottom side. This is the bobbin thread we're looking at because of those tails. Here would be the top side. Typically starting in the top right. Typically, this is how it is. You don't have to start there, but most people do. You can barely see the thread on that black. That's what I'm talking about. Looks like nylon or polyester. It could be either. It's actually hard to tell. These are a little worn in, so the nylon would be. But the double stitch, I'm rambling. The double stitch looks great. Got a double stitch in bags. Let's see what kind of millimeterage we got here per stitch. 2. Nice. Yeah, I believe this side of the fabric, the inside, is the actual, where's my finger? There it is. The actual show side. This is what you'd show on, like, if you're making a pillow or something. And this other side was the back side. And I bet I'm right. So there. This fabric looks like it's the same on both sides. Nice stuff. I mean, it looks different close up than it does far away. And far away it looks like almost like a pinstripe pattern, but up close you can really see the tight weaving here, the plain weave. You wouldn't be able to tell it's plain weave far away. Not with my eyes, even though they're pretty good. So this was cut all the way around. We're going to get a wider view to see that. But for now, let's look at this closing stitch. Get focused up again. Where is it in relation to the edge of this bag seam? It's in the right spot. It's about 2 stitches over. Good. Seals it up nice. And that's right on the line, but it's still going to be sealed up nice. No pellets getting through there. Let's get a measurement on this stitch. Get this nice and flat. It is 6 and 3/8. 6 and 3/8. Opening 2 1/4. Closing stitch about 2 1/2, and that's done by hand. So it varies. Yeah, pretty cool. Not bad. Good bag. I'd say this is a good intermediate bag. It's not like super fast. It's not super slow. It's right in the middle. When I like toss it on my boards, I did a few different kinds of boards too, just to get a real feel for them, for the speeds. Both sides felt the same. So if you're the type of thrower that throws, you know, like just a tumbler where you land here, it really doesn't matter. These aren't going to bounce. They're going to slide the same. You might get a little cut if it's moist out, maybe, and just the way it lands, it might just go a different way. Whatever. Having fun in the backyard. These are good intermediate. I know it's a pro bag, but for like the player that's going to buy these, they're intermediate, beginner, good in the backyard, worse at a blind draw. Kind of like me. Let's get a flip on these. But these were pretty solid fabrics when they were first on. That 2 and whatever half size hole is. Oh, it's smaller than I like. I don't do them that small. It just makes flipping that much harder. And that's just me. What do we got in inches? Let's see here. 4 and just over a quarter. 4 and just over a quarter in millimetres, centimetres. 10.6. 10.6. So these are what? What's a quarter divided by 4? 32nd. So 1 and 1/32 thick per bag on average. Not really surprised about that, considering it's the same fill and by my estimations, is a little, well, but looking at it like this, it's hard to tell the size. Oh, hold on. This one looks bigger. That's probably why it's a little bit, excuse me, thinner. Width of this bag when I smash it, 5 7/8. Overall opinions on the Razer Rampage ACL Pro 2021-2022, powered by RZ3. Okay, like I said before, like the good backyard player is going to have these and wow their friends, and this is a good starter bag if you're looking to get into the higher level of play, only because there's not a lot of difference between the two fabrics. They tout on the website this shark bite material. Well, guess what? A lot of fabrics do that. Ooh. So, not really something you want to hype up. Okay, the RZ3. What does that mean? Because it can't be the fill. It's a single pellet fill. And like I said, link in the description. Take a gander, click it, and get your own RZ3. Would I buy it? I'd buy it for somebody in the neighborhood. I'd do that. I wouldn't buy it for myself. They do feel good. There's nothing wrong with how they feel. It's a good, solid feel. And these are broken well by playing. Not for me. They're probably for you. They're not as, you know, thin and floppy as these, which is nice. So that's nice. The Razer Rampage. Check it out. I'm going to give it 2 backyard thumbs up.